In this episode, we will look at the basics of the European Masonic Muslims who built America before many Europeans went to live there, and the truth about the future Messiah King known as Moshiach to the Jewish people, or the Caliph to the Muslims, or he is known as the King of the World or the King of the New World Order. Yes, we will also look at the question of where is the true Torah of the Prophet Moses, and will the true Torah of the Prophet Moses be revealed by the Messiah, Moshiach, or the Caliph, or the King of the New World Order? And who is the Moshiach or Messiah, King of the New World Order? We will also look at the question of the Antichrist, known as the Dajjal to the Muslims, and where did these stories or these hadith actually come from, and are they true or false? Or are many of them actually true, and did they come from Europe? Yes, the story is going to be made simple in this video. We will also look at the symbol of the star and the moon, which is found on the Turkish flag or the Islamic flag. Is it really an Islamic symbol, or does it hold the secret of ancient Northern European history? For example, many people don't know that it was actually a flag that was used in places like Belgium and Holland. And also in this video we will look at the 7 laws of the Prophet Noah, which are also known as the Noahide laws, and why many people want to bring this into the New World Order. Also, we will look at the history of the Islamic Masonic Ottomans of Pakistan, who they are, and why does nobody know about it. But the biggest thing that we're going to look at, yes, is the European Masonic Muslims, who are Northern Europeans, white people, who built America before many Europeans went to live there. Who are these European Masonic Muslims, and why does nobody know about them?
Welcome, David. Once again, we're very happy that you're sharing your knowledge with us. Let's continue from where we left off last time.
Yes, we left off about Pakistan and the Jewish involvement there, and these Jews were Muslims. Yes, and the Jewish people were known as Muslims. In the if people read my book, then they will know the invention of the Jewish people is new if they read all my books and things like this. Now, I'm focusing on history. I'm not interested in, let's say, for example, people who want to tell me what their interpretation of what the Vedas are saying, or what they believe is the story of Christ and how they feel regarding their own personal religious beliefs and how it affects their life when it comes to the New Testament, or what they believe is their interpretation of the Quran. I'm not here to give people a religious interpretation. I'm talking about history with all these religions. I'm not here to talk about someone's belief in what they think the Old Testament is saying. I'm going to show what history has shown, and I'm talking about history because people are trying to understand who we are, why we're alive, and what's going on. Now, everybody knows about microchips, the New World Order, and they know about that they're trying to make a one world system, one world leader, one world currency, who is going to lead this one world. Now, this has been in process, and they're fighting about it for the last 200 years. This was one of the reasons for World War I, when the German leadership declared that they are the who, Raphael. You've seen the historical evidence before, that the German
Caliph.
leadership, yeah, they declared that they are the Caliph. Now, the Caliph is the same thing as the Moshiach. Now, the Moshiach is something that many people have noticed that many Jewish rabbis are speaking about. But let me explain to you what these rabbis are, or many Christian priests are talking about, hey, the Messiah will come, or many Muslims are talking about, hey, there will be a caliph, Muslim priests. Now, these priests are just normal people. They're reading from books. The question is, who wrote the books? And why? Because these people are the ones who set the agenda, who made sure these books are available, who made sure that these synagogues or these Christian schools or these Muslim madrasas are available for these people to go and study there when they were children. They studied, they learned, and now they got a big mouth screaming, hey, the Moshiach, the Messiah, hey, the Caliph, we're going to take over Europe and America. Hey, the Moshiach and the Messiah, Christ will return. We're going to take over the Middle East and Asia. So it's like both sides, and things like this. But the people at the top are pulling the strings. Now, what it is once people realize what's going on, they will realize there's been several families that some people call the children of Israel, like B'nai Israel, or the children of Adam, or B'nai Adam, or the children of Noah, B'nai Noah. Yes, and if people study more, they will realize there is something that, let's say, Jewish people who are speaking at the United Nations and are trying to encourage countries around the world to sign their charter of the laws of Noah, or the Noahide laws. But other people are against it, saying it will make it a global dictatorship. But many people don't understand that there's bigger people at the top behind this. In fact, play this video, many Jewish rabbis who are speaking, but please notice that they're just reading books and they believe in it, so they're going to speak out. There's many Christian priests who were similar, saying, yeah, we're going to invade the Middle East, we're taking over, we're invading Asia, we're taking over Iran, this and that. And then there's Muslim priests who are saying, we are going to take over Europe, we're invading the Americanos, we will take over the whole world with the caliphate. Yes, there is everybody. Everybody screaming, and it's because they've read some books and they believe it. And but the question is, who wrote these books, when, and when did these movements start, and what is the reason for it, and how it affects you and me? Yes, in the coming New World Order. Yes, which they failed to bring around since the fall of Moscow. This position has been open since the fall of Moscow. Yes, well, anyway, play this video.
All right.
The Mashiach will come. There'll be a new world order.
In order for Mashiach to come, you cannot have any other governments. It's going to be one kingdom, one malchut, one government. So you can look at it in the negative aspect of saying a new world order, a one government. Yeah, you're right. It is going to be a new world order. The new world of Mashiach with one order, the Torah, one government. Yeah, it's going to be a Sanhedrin. We're not going to have all the rest of the stuff. The time of the entire planet is done.
For Mashiach to take over the world, don't forget, at a certain point, King Mashiach should be ruling the whole world. They themselves, the nations of the whole world, will ask him and beg him to take over their, at least the government, their government, to teach them the right way, to teach them how to live. The whole world will take him upon themselves as the leader. And then actually going to be a new world order, but not like those radical ones think. There's going to be a new world order, but the new world of God order.
Before Mashiach comes and a new world order is instituted, we need to destroy what existed previously, and we need a destruction of society and the world as we know it.
Every new reality means a total loss of the reality that came before it, referring to the coming of Mashiach and the new world order that comes with it. Okay? In other words, for what is coming, what is has to be unrecognizable. Nothing can remain. None of the world systems can remain. Nothing will remain because it's rotten to the core.
The spiritual heirs of the Roman Empire is the Western world, United States of America, so the USA will last until Mashiach comes.
Someone has to completely destroy this world and its system before the new one comes in. You want your one world governments? So does God, no problem.
God will abolish every government on earth and hand over control of the whole world to Mashiach.
Mashiach will be the king of the entire world. There will be a monarchy restored to the world. Mashiach will be king, and he will be accepted by both the nation of Israel and all the nations of the world alike.
You may be wondering why Hashem wants to destroy his world, why so much destruction, so much nuclear bombs and so forth. Before a new world is built, the old has to be destroyed.
Okay. Yes.
All right.
Now, these people are just reading from text. They're giving their own opinions. And of course, they haven't managed to explain things very well. Now,
Right.
I'm not on anybody's side. I am not on anybody's side, but I'm going to speak for many people in different views, many of them. So please don't go out there and say, David said this or David said that. I'm speaking from what I know from traveling around the world, talking to thousands and thousands of people. Yes. So, these people have not expressed themselves properly. If anybody is going to have a look at this, there, many people, not anybody, many people are going to feel anti-Jewish, and they're going to think, hey, the Jewish people are behind this and many other things. No, they're reading books. Who put these books there? Yes, and these books are not very old. They're only about 100 years old, 150 years old, with
I was
many
about to
updates.
say,
Remember,
just like you
we
like to point out, some of these rabbis have all these books behind them to make it look like maybe they read all those books, but just like you said, who wrote them and when were they written?
Yeah,
That's an
it's
important
not just
question.
that, but those books, remember we talked about printing, how the printing, they only reversed it 100 years ago. Yes, and then the square print, the square Hebrew, and then the different letters, and then Polish time, and the Pale settlement in Poland. So you're beginning to see Judaism is pretty new. Yes, it's pretty new. Actually, many of these Jewish schools didn't even exist. We can't seem to find any of them in America until the 20th century. Yeah, which is very strange. Yeah. So the thing is, the main thing is that people are going to think many different crazy things. But the truth is, the ruling families have existed for a long time. And you could call them, the rulers of ancient Egypt, the rulers during the Middle Ages. They're from the same family as Jesus Christ. Yes, and his ancestors, so you could call them the children of Israel. They're from the same family of Muhammad. Now, it's like if somebody's going to say, "Where do you get that from?" Read my books. That's one. Yes, especially Secrets of the Kabbalah and 33 Degrees. You will see Muhammad's mentioned in many places in the Bible. Yes, if you haven't seen it or read it or examined it, then you won't know. And then you'll say, "Oh, he is Ishmael." Many people don't know who is Ishmael. Yes, King David. Yeah, the royal blood of David. Yes, his sister was married to an Ishmaelite, and then what they did was, in these walled cities. Yes, when many of the children of Israel or children of Noah, when they had children with non people who did not have the blood, their blood, what they did was they turned around and said, "We don't accept them, and we'll only accept the person who's got their mother is from that side," because in the old times it used to be from the father, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. But so they reversed it because there was too many people, or they call pretenders to the throne. Yes. Well, anyway, so the thing is, many people are going to think this is the reality. But now let's have a look at another thing of the reality. If anybody has read my books, ancient Egypt is not old and ancient Greece did not exist. And many people are saying, how did they build these things 100 years ago? It's because many people don't bother researching. Here is a video from 100 years ago from Miami. I want you to imagine the United States of America in every major city 100 years ago. It was like this when they used to have celebrations once a year by the top Freemasons, like the Master Masons and beyond them, involving 33 degrees and everything. And I want you to pay attention. Please play the video. It's about 10 minutes, but I'm going to speak through it. Yes, please play it. Yes. So here we have, they're making fake objects of ancient Egypt. They're making them in America 100 years ago in the same way that they were making them in the United States. Here they're making them in America. And it shows you how they crafted these things. Nothing amazing about it in many buildings, in the church buildings. Whoa, how did they do it? These tall statues. Here they're doing it in the United States. And they made many of these things. They put them in many places. The Freemasons made them in the same way that they were involved in making these things in Egypt and in ancient Greece, ancient India, and many other places. So here we could see them at work. Yes, but here they're making ones in America for their celebrations. But notice, pay attention to the writing, the pharaohs, because they have the royal blood, and Flamenco, before Stephen came. Yeah, so and even after Christ came, these pharaohs, because ancient Egypt wasn't old. So now the Garden of Allah, the Garden of Allah, the Garden of Allah. Yes. So the thing is, this is what is in Freemasonry, and the Shriners are at the top. And in every city in America, here they are preparing for their, annual celebrations. But 100 years ago, the celebrations were so big because America was basically run by these people. the real Freemasons, not like today. Like today, you'll see Shriners, you'll see, Shriners from the African community and other things, because they invented new groups and brought in new people so that nobody will ever know. Look at the cranes and everything. If people are imagining how did they constructing horse and buggies, it's not horse and buggies. Look at this. This is 100 years ago. Can you see it? 100 years ago, they even had machinery of how they built these buildings. Can you see it, Raphael?
Yes.
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 Yeah. I don't know if you could hear. Yes. So here we have, like the Muslim priest. Yes, the Masonic priest with the beard, and the Muslims call it Adhan or Azan. And look at this. This is outside Olympia. Look at their processions. They're like military processions. This is in Miami. They had them in New York, in other cities. They basically ran America. They created America, and many people will say, even though they falsified the history, many presidents, many leaders, many big generals, they're all Freemasons, and the masters were Shriners, and above them. So here they are. They're showing they're making the garden of Allah. That the United States, because the Europeans are moving there. So what is the religion of the Europeans? They've come from all over Europe, and they want to build the garden of Allah. So they made the United States beautiful. The United States is the garden of Allah. You see? Look at them. Notice all the fez hats that the Ottoman Germans were wearing. Now, all these hats, they disappeared in America after around the time that this television became very uncommon, because they needed to hide Palestine on his hat. Look, it says Palestine. I forgot him. He's a famous guy. This guy here. Yes, forgot his name, but notice these things. They're showing that in the are building the garden of Allah. Yes, and the royalty and the royal family is important. Look, the U.S. Army and the main army. Yes, it was basically an Islamic army or something to do with Islam. Yes, and they had the same thing, the drums and the trumpets and everything, same like the Ottoman Germans. And then now all over the world, many people have hidden this. Today, mainly the Turks carry on this thing when they show the history of the Ottomans. And there's a few Shriner processions, but they don't. It's become something more like a joke and a celebration. Smaller ones these days, but you don't get to see how they're really involved in the politics. Look, everybody's come out in the city. You see, this is what Miami was. It wasn't a skyline. And you can see everybody's come out, all the European people, for the garden of Allah, because everybody knew it was Allah or Alleluia. Yes, so Miami was a smaller city. There's many videos, many things. People can check this themselves. Being Freemasons, a Christian, or they're Jewish or something. No, something more connected to Islam. Yes, it's more connected to Islam, and you will see the star and the moon symbol on their hats. It's written Allah and all these Arabic words that you'll find in the Quran. And of course, they're going to say, we don't know where it came from, and then many things. But of course, Masonry is a secret. So of course, it's going to stay secret. But we don't see these things anymore, do we, Raphael? Are you shocked by what you're seeing?
Well, because of the comments
Raphael.
and the information from you, I'm not exactly shocked, but it's impressive to see, certainly, yes, and very much different from what you would see today in America.
We're talking
anywhere.
about America. Yes. Yeah, because you've got to hide it, because the media has come out. So now you put the actors, the public actors, Democrats voting, everything. And the thing is, they've all got Islamic hats on, everything with Islamic names written on: Allah, Malaika, Palestine, Saladin, Mecca, Medina, and all these things. The truth is, there is something else. And of course, they have their own interpretations of the Quran. Yes, their interpretations, same like the Quranists have theirs, but the Quranists is every man for himself. Like the Quranists are like the Lone Rangers going out there with their guns. Yeah. Oh, please, no stupid comments. There was many stupid comments. Please grow up a little. But here we could see, it's just huge. The celebrations are huge. I mean, the thing is, you've got to turn and think, what's going on? This is the Ottoman army, the Ottoman band. What is this? Yes, and why have these things disappeared? You see, Sultan Murad, the Murad temple. Sultan Murad, he's famous. I mean, he's known in the Islamic world. I mean, none of you people have heard of these things. These people, they control the United States. They control Canada. They control basically the most powerful country in the world. But now they're in hiding and they've gone in secret. Our Mason was more open back in the days. Yeah, nobody investigated it. It's because Islam was part of life then, original Islam was. And there was many different factions within original Islam. So this is the original thing. These days, they're going to show you something else. And they had the red coats, same like the Ottoman Empire and the Turkish red flag and things like this. Yes? You know, what are they showing here? I don't know what they're showing here, but you can see these are the builders of the United States, and many of the buildings that people are saying are very old are not. He's wearing the hat of Sultan Murad. Yes, the potentate. This means the Garden of Allah. It's written here again. Potentate means that we are a faction of the Caliphate. Yeah, and everything. And notice all these things. You know, all these things. These Islamic style things and everything. What we would call Islam today, but they've made you think it's from the Middle East. It came from Europe. These are European traditions, and the people were celebrating in America like that European traditions and things like this. But they've hidden all these things today. It's because, you know, it's become televised and other things, and there are other actors at play. It's because within the royal families, they're fighting who is going to be the global Mashiach or the global leader. Yes, but these are the people in power. They run the United States. So many people say America is supporting Israel. No, it's the Muslims who are supporting Israel. It's because they are the people that are at the top. They are the people at the top, and they're fighting amongst themselves. Yes, and they've created an artificial aurora borealis, and look at the machinery 100 years ago. So they did have all kinds of machinery and all these things, but you know, people don't realize that, you know, 98 years ago, you know, this is in 1928. Yeah, so can you see it? So the thing is, many people are saying, how did they build these buildings? People don't look. It's because people don't want to examine what the Quran says. The Quran gives you another version of history. Yes, and of course, I've told people, yeah, the internet Quran are 90% accurate, but if you're looking for deep information with the 10% accuracy, I suggested people to go to the mosques, because the mosques, they're same like the Masonic temples. Yes, if you went to a Masonic temple and you studied the Quran, which yeah, they studied the Bible, the Quran, and the secrets there in these you know, Muslim temples, because that's what the Masonic temples are. The Freemasonic temples, temples. Many people don't realize America is run by the, yes, and but there are a certain branch. So now, if you went to the Masonic temples, you'll understand the Quran a bit more. Yes, but of course, not everybody has access. So another place you can go to is go to the mosque where they don't use dictionaries, and they have orals, because the oral Qurans don't match these manuscripts. Yes, and what you see online, the oral Quran is the actual Quran. Yes, in the manuscripts, they've modified many other things. So that's why I told people to go there and don't listen to, you know, people online or on the streets or any cowboys making videos out there. I mean, there's many cowboys out there. Yes. So now let's have a look at to see who the Shriners actually are. Yes, the Shriners are, yes, are the top Masons and things like this. But I'm talking about Freemasonry was more important back then. Today, it's gone into hiding, and they're very much involved. Yes, and so the thing is, now play the video, which is the Shriners Parade in New York in 1964. Around that time and after that, what happened is that television became widespread. So these things have disappeared. Here is in Fifth Avenue, and this is even in 1964. So you will see how powerful these people are. They created the United States. Everyone knows this. So let's see what religion or what these people are. Play this.
All right, we're gonna watch the video for 1.5 minutes, and then we'll have you will comment afterwards.
Yes. Yes.
A summer sun that frays nerves and sparks violence in more congested parts of New York City beams cheerfully on the broad stretch of Fifth Avenue where 22,000 Shriners pass in frolicsome parade. They are the fun-loving members of the more stately Masonic order. Vezes and camels, burnouses and scimitars dominate the scene. For the Shriners, whose organization was started with a luncheon group of 13 jovial Masons here in New York nearly 100 years ago, purports to have been founded in Mecca by one Caliph Ali in 644 AD. Nobody, however, takes that legend very seriously. What the potentates, as the officers are called, do take seriously are the 17 hospitals the Shriners have built and maintained since 1922. 3 new institutes for the treatment of children's burns are in the planning or construction stage. The clowning that delights the supposedly blasé New Yorkers during this 90th Imperial Council session is also put to the service of sick little girls and boys. For wherever their 167 temples are in the United States, Canada, Mexico, and the Canal Zone, the Shriners are quick to bring their costumes and antics to brighten the long days in children's hospitals and wards.
Yes. Now, and people can play that video again and again in their own time. You'll notice that there is a card there and it says Osman. Osman means Uthman or Ottoman. That's one. It means Ottoman. Then you will notice that the star is upside down. The moon is upside down. And you will notice that the Turks have it the same way upside down. But if anybody goes to Russia, I notice throughout Russia there's many of these moons and stars. But it's not upside down, it's the opposite way. Because I noticed that the star and the moon that's east of Moscow, or what they call north, was towards the Pacific, yes, is opposite and it's facing upwards. In the other side, it's facing downwards. And notice that the origin of Freemasonry and the Shriners, where did it start? Which city? They said it's in the video, Raphael.
Honestly, I didn't catch it. I thought New York. I think New York, they said.
No, they said Mecca. It started in Mecca.
Right,
and it,
right, originally, right.
And
Yes,
it was
yes,
created
as a legend,
by
yes.
Yes, yeah, yeah. And so because this video is in 1964, so now they're saying, hey, which nobody takes seriously. The public doesn't take it seriously. They're not talking about the people who know. The people who know otherwise. And if you want to understand this, you have to read my book, Science of the Kaaba. Yes, there's a lot of information which is not in this video. Yes, and it's not in any of the videos. It's in my book, Science of the Kaaba. And yes, of course, the price is a little high. But the thing is, you can go out there and buy all these Masonic books by Shriners, and they don't tell you anything anyway. And you know, so many of these books are $1,000 each. You can buy them instead. Yes, and so far I gave all the profits to charity. Oh yeah, there's many people out there who are saying he's boasting. No, I'm not boasting. I'm mentioning it because many people said, hey, where is the money gone? I gave it to charity so far. I haven't kept it. But anyway, it's very important to notice this. This Masonic organization, Masonry or whatever they're calling it, and at the top, the Shriners, they are following something that was founded in which city? Founded where?
In Mecca, yes.
Yes, so this is why Mecca is very important. What religion comes from Mecca? Buddhism?
Islam.
What religion comes from Mecca?
Islam, yes.
Yes, so that's why Islam is very important. These people founded the United States, and nobody seems to realize this. People are blind. Yes, this is what it, now you can clearly see what it used to be like in New York. Yes, so there is something going on. And the thing is, now let's go to the folder QQ, and let's go through some of these details to understand what's going on and to see the Shriners, the Quran, and then the Jewish people. What is really going on? Who is really behind all this, and what's going on, and the different factions that are fighting to destroy our current world, to socially destroy it, everything, and to bring people into a new world order.